So this is we're reacting to Doomblazer, and this is how the Inhumans failed to replace the X-Men. So check it out.
Talk about how the Inhumans failed to replace the mutants in the Marvel Universe. It all started back when Marvel was going bankrupt and they had to sell their most popular IPs to other companies, and they sold their most popular team to Fox, which was the X-Men. Yes, the X-Men are more popular than the Avengers. But ever since the Avengers became so popular and became household names due to the MCU, Marvel thought they weren't going to get the X-Men back, so they were being a little petty and halted everything X-Men related. Whether it's comics, shows, or toys, Marvel tried to not associate with the franchise.
Yeah, it was a shitty time to be an X-Men fan. We got basically no products starring the X-Men, no games, no toys, no clothing. All promotional imagery was without the X-Men. X-Men even got kicked to limbo for a time. They gave the Inhumans a very X-Men-like emergence. Anyone could be Inhuman. Then the Inhumans TV show failed horribly. Rupert Murdoch decided to sell off everything Fox Entertainment, and now here we are.
Anymore because they don't own them anymore and they pretend they don't exist. So that's when Marvel started to push hard on the Inhumans and they were going to replace the X-Men. There was even a comic called Inhumans vs. X-Men. That's why we always saw the Inhumans in so many Marvel projects in the 2010s. They were almost meant to be the X-Men substitutes. They even tried to make an Inhumans movie in Phase 3 of the MCU, however, due to many problems, it got demoted into a show that wasn't even set in the MCU, and it was horrible. Thankfully, this was around the time when Disney bought Fox.
Can I mention one thing? I tried watching the show and I stopped, and I don't know if anyone likes it, but just my opinion. The show looks so low budget. It looked like something that was made from the CW. No offense. I love Arrow. I love any of the DC shows by Gotham, but just saying.
Marvel did get the X-Men back, and ever since then, they've been saying F you to the Inhumans franchise ever since. Fun fact, in the comics, Miss Marvel was originally going to be a mutant, but due to the focus in the Marvel Comics storyline, she had to be an Inhuman instead. Thankfully, in the MCU, they made Miss Marvel a mutant, which made the comic creators very happy. Now that the X-Men are about to run things in the MCU, don't expect the Inhumans to join anytime soon. They're literally the off-brand mutants. You are never going to see them be done justice ever again. Especially after the rumored beef between Kevin Feige and Ike Perlmutter regarding the Inhumans is this whole nother thing. Ever since Marvel got the X-Men back, they've been benching the Inhumans ever since. It's like they don't care about them anymore now that their favorite team's back. Let's talk about how the Inhumans...
Well, my thoughts on that is... Well, Inhumans, you tried replacing X-Men, but you can never replace Wolverine, Beast, Cyclops. Can I just mention though, after seeing Black Bolt and Doctor Strange 2, I was thinking, I know for a fact he's fucked. Like, you know how they went to go confront Scarlet Witch? If any of you guys seen, I'm not going to mention anymore. But when they went to confront Scarlet Witch, I was thinking, oh, I do love John Krasinski and Professor X, aka Charles Xavier, but no offense, they are fucked. That's what my reaction was. I said to, like, one of my older siblings, I said, I do love those two characters, but no offense, I feel like they're fucked. And then, like, my older sibling was like, which was my older brother, he was like, yeah, you're right. And then they actually got, you know what? And then he was like, oh shit, you were right. And I was like, how I knew was this. Like, before I go, you wanna know how I knew? Because why the hell would you think, like, oh, we can try and stop the Scarlet Witch, you know? The one thing that I think was dumb was when John Krasinski's character, which I do love, by the way, his actor, but his character saying like, hey, I've got children, I understand, and then she's like, is their mother still alive? And then he just says yes, and then she's like, good, at least someone will still be alive to raise them. And then he mentions about Black Bolt, and then I'm like, bro, you call yourself the smartest man on the planet, but you just sell out your boy saying like, hey, he can wipe you out, and then like she's like, what do you mean? And then you can know, his mouth gets erased, and I'm like, bro, you're such a dumbass. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.